In October 2020, we made history at the South Moreton Boxing Club by staging the world's first behind-closed-doors white-collar boxing show. We got over 10,000 views on the night across 103 countries. Now we're bringing the live rumble back, bigger and better than before. Follow the fighters in the build-up and vote on the night for your favourites. See all the thrills, spills and skills from the best in white-collar boxing, live and free at the KO Cup. Okay, Peter, so today I just wanted to preview an absolutely mouth-watering fight that is coming up this weekend. So Saturday, May the 22nd in Vegas, we have a clash for the undisputed super lightweight championship of the world. Super lightweight, what we used to call over here the old like welterweight division, so Ricky Hatton's old 10-stone division. And we've got Josh the Tartan Tornado Terror against Jose the Jaguar Ramirez. Now, this is as good as it gets in boxing, Peter. These are two undefeated guys, two guys in their prime, coming together to unify the belts. Taylor holds the IBF and the WBA title, and Ramirez holds the WBO and the WBC title. So now we're in the four-belt era. You know, this is a fight for the four-belt championship. So I just want to recap a bit on how we got here and then talk about what's likely to unfold in the fight and the significance of it, really. So if we look at Taylor first, you know, hugely decorated amateur, lots of international duty for his country. He was at the 2010 Commonwealth Games. He won a silver. Lost to Tom Stalker in the final. He then went to the 2012 Olympics. He didn't medal, he went out in the round of 16, but he stayed amateur and went to the 2014 Commonwealths where he won gold, and then he turned pro with Cyclone Promotions, trained by Shane McGuigan. So, you know, real decorated amateur career, very solid, and turned pro and kind of stepped in very quickly and raced through the ranks. I mean, he's only 17-0 now with 13 KOs, and he's already in this massive unification fight. He's already run 2 world titles. He's been Commonwealth champion, and you know, he's just at every level that he's stepped up to, he's succeeded and flourished. So tremendously exciting fighter. You know, he comes forward, works inside really well, works to the body really well, fighting out that southpaw stance, great jab. You know, a real good all-rounded box fighter. So, you know, very exciting guy. I mean, I really started to pay attention to Josh Taylor when he first fought Ahara Davis in 2017. That was his first defence of the Commonwealth title. And Ahara Davis at the time was 15-0, you know, a real trash-talking fighter, made a lot of noise. And Taylor was 9-0. Seen as a very 50-50 fight going in, you know, and maybe Davis was even the favourite. But, you know, that was the first time I really watched Taylor and thought, oh, my God, this guy is classy, scary. He seems to have it all. You know, he just had that almost invincible look about him, that unbreakable will as well. You know, and he knocked Ahara down in the 3rd and then stopped him in the 7th in that fight. And then he went into after that into the World Series of Boxing, where he won that. He won his IBF title in that, and then he won in the final against Regis Prograis, which was another undefeated fighter, you know, and that was a unification clash, and he took Prograis' WBA belt in that clash. So that was back in 2019. He only fought once in 2020. This is the one thing I'm going to count against him. He's only fought once in you know, in 19 months. But we all know, you know, largely the reason why. He also split with Shane McGuigan, teamed up with Davidson, Tyson Fury's ex-trainer, and you know, it seems to be a really good match. And so they're coming into this fight, you know, full of confidence. But like I say, he's had that bit of a layoff. But, you know, a really quality operator who can really box, can really fight, and, you know, is absolutely in his prime at 30 years of age. And like I say, holds those 2 belts coming into this unification fight. Jose Ramirez, Mexican-American, had a kind of, in a way, a bit of a mirror image amateur career. You know, really quality amateur, national Golden Gloves champion, junior Olympics champion, went to the 2012 Olympics, same ones as Taylor, didn't medal, and you know, came back and turned pro, and is now 26-0 with 17 knockouts, and he has won the WBC title and the WBO title. So like I say, it's the 4-belt era. He's like I say, he's a Mexican-American fighter. He's in a way as well, you know, character-wise, he's a bit of a Pacquiao type character. He likes to do a lot for his community, you know, campaigning for land rights for Mexican Americans and water rights, and helping people out in his South Central you know, district. So, you know, it's just a real nice all-round guy. But, you know, as a fighter, you know, he does have that Mexican style, comes forward, works the body very well, keeps the pressure going, which is in a way why, you know, what I've already described about Josh Taylor's style. this is really going to be a clash, I think, fought at close quarters, and it's going to be a real tear up. So I'm really looking forward to this one. It's a fantastic fight, and as I said, Ramirez is 28, so again in his prime, and as I said, both undefeated, and all 4 belts on the line. So it's interesting. We've reflected a little bit recently on what the 4-belt era means, where it's come from, and all that sort of thing. There's only ever actually been 8 people who've ever held all 4 belts at the same time. And for male fighters, that is Bernard Hopkins was the first one to do it when he defeated Oscar De La Hoya to win the WBO belt, to add to his collection. And he was beaten by Jermaine Taylor. So Bernard Hopkins, Jermaine Taylor. Then we've got Alexander Usyk, who unified as well in the WSB series as well, and Terence Crawford. Now, interestingly enough, Terence Crawford unified all 4 belts in the super lightweight division, where these guys are contesting as well, before obviously moving off and moving on. So those are the four male holders. The females: Clarissa Shields, Katie Taylor, Cecilia Brakehurst, and Jessica McCaskill have already held all 4 belts. In the as women's titles. So only 8 people in total who've done it. So you'll notice in there no British fighters. Obviously, we've all been talking non-stop about the 4 belts coming on the line in on the August 14th clash with Fury Joshua. So it looks like we're definitely going to get a British 4-belt title holder there. But I think we may well get a the first ever British 4-belt title holder in Josh Taylor with this fight coming up. So it's it's tremendously exciting, and it's 2.5 years since anybody has held all 4 titles at the same time. So it's a really significant clash, and I'm surprised in a way that it seems to have gone a bit under the radar, because this is just, like I say, as good as it gets in boxing. This comes along once every 10 years, so it's a fantastic fight. And how does it break down? Well, like I said, I see it as a bit of a war. These guys are ranked number 1 and number 2 by everybody that matters, by BoxRec, by the Ring magazine. This is clearly a fight for the undisputed title at super lightweight. So I see it playing out as a 12-round fight. I am tipping in favour of Taylor, and the reason I'm doing that is because of his versatility. When I've seen him fight different opponents with different styles, he always adapts. And although I've said, he can apply pressure, he works very well inside, but he also works on the outside very well with that southpaw jab. I just think he's got a little bit more versatility. You kind of know what Ramirez is going to bring. He's strong, he throws really sharp, fast combinations, he keeps the pressure going, as I say, in that classic Mexican style. But I just see the versatility of Taylor maybe being able to deal with it a bit better. I see a 12-round a 12-round decision in this fight. I don't think anybody's getting stopped, even though Taylor says, he reckons he's going to stop him. He's there to be hit. But I see it going to the scorecards, and I see Taylor being the winner after 12 rounds. Again, as I say, the only thing that I'm counting against Taylor in this is the inactivity for 19 months. But then Ramirez only fought once in 2020. And also, Ramirez has got home advantage because it's in Vegas. So, people can come down from California, but nobody can travel from our side to go over and support him. And Josh Taylor does always bring a raucous crowd. He's only fought in Vegas once. That was an early fight. Ramirez has fought in Vegas 8 times, and he will bring the crowd. And so he'll get a bit of home advantage. But I just see, what I've seen in Taylor, the quality, the iron will, the versatility. I think he's going to come through in a humdinger, barnstormer of a fight. Over 12 rounds to become the first British undisputed 4-belt holder in this modern 4-belt era. So, please tune in. It's Sky Box Office. Ring walks are scheduled for 4 a.m. on that'd be Sunday morning. But it's going to be an absolute corker. So, and I'm predicting the first ever undisputed 4-belt champion for Britain is going to be crowned on Saturday night in Josh Taylor. Go Josh.